There's a truth most men learn only after life has humbled them. Women are not moved by loud gestures, dramatic promises, or pretty lies. What truly reaches a woman of depth is a man who speaks with clarity, intention, and presence. A man who sees what others overlook. A man whose words carry weight because they come from experience. From restraint. From understanding his own heart before reaching for hers. In a world full of noise, the most attractive man is the one who knows how to speak softly and mean every word. And sometimes, all it takes is the right sentence, said in the right moment, with the right kind of truth, to make a woman stop, look at you differently, and feel something she didn't expect. Today, we explore 6 such sentences. 6 compliments that only a mature, grounded man can give. And no woman can ignore. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where lessons about love will help you better understand this complex emotion. In today's video, we will learn together about 6 compliments that will attract any woman you want. These are things that can change the way you perceive love in life. Be prepared because the secrets and insights you are about to discover may make you look back at yourself and the relationships around you. Before starting, find a quiet space, put on your headphones and relax. Let your mind completely immerse in these shares and enjoy every wonderful moment. Are you ready to discover new things about love? Let's start this journey with us right now. Compliment number 1, being around you makes me want to become a better man. There's a truth most men don't dare to say out loud. We don't fall for a woman because she is perfect. We fall for her because she awakens the parts of us we forgot existed. When I tell a woman, being around you makes me want to become a better man, I'm not offering her a cliché. I'm revealing a piece of my inner world, something men like me usually keep locked behind years of silence, mistakes, lessons, and quiet self-discipline. Because here's what life has taught me. A mature man does not crave a woman to complete him. He seeks a woman who reminds him of who he can be, when he is at his strongest, most honorable, most grounded. And when such a woman stands before you, you feel it immediately, not in your mind, but in your spine, your breath, your presence. She doesn't try to change you, yet somehow, her existence challenges you. Her kindness makes you question your sharp edges. Her resilience makes you examine your own discipline. Her softness makes you want to be a man worthy of holding it. This compliment is not about dependency, it is about recognition. It means, I see your value. Not the surface, not the beauty others rush to mention, but the influence you naturally carry. The quiet power you don't even realize you have. A woman who hears this feels something rare, something deeper than admiration. She feels impact. And impact is the language of feminine energy. You see, a man can tell her, you're beautiful. You're sexy. You're stunning. And she'll smile, maybe out of politeness, maybe out of habit. But beauty is a compliment she has heard since she was a child. Admiration for her looks is effortless, almost automatic. But telling her she makes you want to be better. That hits a place where vanity cannot reach. It tells her she is not just seen. She is felt. A Stoic man never speaks to impress. He speaks to align himself with truth. So when he says this line, it is because he has observed her actions, her character, her calmness under pressure, her integrity when no one is watching. He has noticed the refinement in her soul, the strength behind her eyes, the gentleness in her words. He acknowledges that she elevates the room simply by existing in it. And the irony is this. A woman who makes a man want to be better is rarely the one demanding change. She is the one who embodies the standard he rises toward. In a world full of chaos, she carries a quiet order. In a world loud with insecurity, she moves with assurance. In a world that glorifies attention, she radiates depth. When a man lives by Stoic principles, self-control, discipline, clarity, purpose, he doesn't yield his identity for anyone. But he also recognizes when someone amplifies his path rather than distracts him from it. And that's what this compliment celebrates. It says, "You don't complete me, but you inspire the man I choose to become." It's not attachment. It's not neediness. It's not worship. It's gratitude. And gratitude is one of the purest forms of love a Stoic man can offer. Not the loud, dramatic kind, but the quiet glow you feel when someone improves your life simply by walking beside you. So when you say this to a woman, say it slowly. Let the words settle between you like warm light. Because you're not praising her beauty. You're honoring her presence. And presence, real, feminine presence, is what a mature man values more than anything else. Compliment number 2, I admire the way you think. There's a certain kind of woman whose beauty doesn't hit you all at once. It unfolds slowly. With every sentence she speaks. And the more she talks, the more you realize something rare. Her mind is more captivating than her appearance. Most men spend their lives chasing faces, bodies, curves. The kind of beauty that brightens a room but fades with time. But a man who has lived long enough, who has failed enough, who has loved and lost enough, knows that the real treasure is not found on the surface. It's found in the way a woman thinks. That's why when I tell a woman, I admire the way you think, I'm not flattering her. I'm acknowledging her essence. Because thought, real thought, is the one thing a woman can't fake. Her mind reveals who she truly is. Her values, her clarity, her depth, her softness, her strength. Her way of interpreting the world. Her way of responding, rather than reacting, to what life throws at her. A Stoic man listens not for agreement, but for alignment. He listens to see whether her thoughts sharpen him or drain him. Whether her perspective expands his world or shrinks it. Whether her intelligence brings peace or chaos. A young man chases excitement. A mature man seeks mental harmony. And a woman with a thoughtful mind, she becomes unforgettable. When she speaks, she doesn't rush. Her words have weight, intention, temperature. She's not trying to impress you. She's simply being herself. But her authenticity is so refreshing that you find yourself leaning closer, wondering how someone like her exists in a world that moves too fast, thinks too little, and feels even less. That is why this compliment is potent. Most women hear, "You're cute. You look amazing. You're gorgeous." But almost no one tells them, "Your mind, your perspective, the way you analyze life, it fascinates me." This is a compliment that bypasses vanity and speaks directly to her identity. Because the truth is, a woman who feels understood is a woman who begins to open her heart. Not because you forced it, but because you recognize the part of her that she treasures most. Yet the world often overlooks. When I say, I admire the way you think, I'm telling her, I don't want just your beauty. I want your insight, your wisdom, your truth. I want the version of you that appears when you feel safe enough to speak freely. And every woman, no matter how strong, independent, confident, longs for a man who can hear her mind, the way others only see her face. A Stoic man values a woman's thoughts. Not because he is weak. Not because he seeks validation. But because he understands a powerful truth. The quality of your partner's mind determines the quality of your future. A thoughtful woman helps you stay grounded. She challenges your emotions without dismissing them. She questions your decisions without disrespecting you. She sees your potential without demanding perfection. And in her presence, you feel something shift. A quiet sharpening. A subtle alignment. A sense that your life becomes clearer. Because her mind stands beside yours. That's why this compliment matters. It tells her, I don't just watch you. I listen to you. And to a woman of depth. That is the highest form of attraction. So when you speak this line, say it with calm certainty. The way a seasoned man speaks truth. Without trying to charm. Without trying to gain anything. Without fear of vulnerability. Just simple, grounded honesty. Because beauty may catch a man's eye. But the mind, her mind, is what captures his respect. His admiration. And eventually, his heart. Love is not only about happy moments, but also about challenges that help us realize our inner strength. It is through difficulties that we learn patience, tolerance, and how to love without losing ourselves. This is also the reason why I share stories here, so that you can find calmness and wisdom in your journey of love. If you feel these words touch you, please take a second to click like to spread this message. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe with the notification bell, to always be the first to receive new shares. Don't forget to leave a comment below, share your feelings or a lesson you learned after listening to this story. Each line you share is a way for us to connect and accompany each other. Now, get ready, because the next part will bring you even deeper insights. Compliment number 3, talking to you feels peaceful. There's a certain kind of peace a man spends half his life searching for. Not the silence of an empty room. Not the numbness that comes after exhaustion. And not the momentary escape found in distractions. No. A mature man seeks a different kind of peace. One that comes from presence, connection, and energy. The kind of peace that makes him feel more like himself. So when I tell a woman, talking to you feels peaceful, I'm not describing a conversation. I'm describing a state of being. Because real peace isn't the absence of noise. It's the presence of someone who doesn't add unnecessary chaos to your life. And trust me, a man who has lived long enough, who has fought battles both outside and inside himself, knows exactly how rare that is. We meet many people. Some drain us. Some entertain us. Some distract us. But only a few make us feel calm simply by being near them. A woman like that doesn't force harmony. She embodies it. Her voice isn't just pleasant. It's grounding. Her words aren't just interesting. They're steadying. She listens without rushing. Speaks without competing. And somehow, without even trying, she creates a space where your nervous system can finally take a breath. A Stoic man recognizes this instantly. Because he spends his life mastering his emotions. Sharpening his discipline. Learning to be unmoved by the storms of the world. But even the strongest man feels something soften. When he meets a woman who brings him inner quiet. It's not weakness. It's recognition. When I say, talking to you feels peaceful, what I truly mean is, in a world that constantly pulls me in 1,000 directions, your presence brings me back to myself. And that is a rare compliment. Most women are used to hearing, you're beautiful. You're charming. You're fun to talk to. But peaceful? That's different. That's deeper. That speaks to her energy, not her appearance. And feminine energy, real feminine energy, isn't loud. It isn't chaotic. It isn't demanding. It is soft strength. Warm presence. Steady grace. A woman who carries that energy becomes unforgettable. Because she offers what the world rarely does. Calm without boredom, softness without weakness, presence without pressure. Talking to her doesn't feel like an interview. It doesn't feel like a negotiation. It feels like a moment you didn't realize you needed. Until you were already inside it. A mature man knows this. When he finds peace in a woman's presence, he doesn't cling. He doesn't chase. He simply honors it. He acknowledges it. He lets her know that her natural essence has an impact on him. Because peace is not a small thing. Peace is not casual. Peace is not just a feeling. Peace is a form of love. A subtle one. A quiet one. But one that reshapes a man more deeply than passion or excitement ever could. So when you say this line to a woman, say it slowly. Let the truth sit between you. Let her feel the sincerity behind your words. Because talking to you feels peaceful is really another way of saying, you make my world quieter and my heart steadier. And for a woman of depth, for a woman who values emotional maturity, for a woman who knows her worth, there is no compliment more intimate than that. Compliment number 4, there's something about you. A kind of quiet magnetism. The more I look at you, the more fascinating you become. There are women whose beauty strikes you instantly. The kind that turns heads, sparks whispers, demands attention. But then there are women who possess something far more dangerous. Something subtle, something unspoken, something that doesn't shout but pulls. A quiet magnetism. And that kind of woman, she doesn't just catch your eye. She captures your curiosity. When I tell a woman, there's something about you, a kind of quiet magnetism. The more I look at you, the more fascinating you become. I'm not describing physical beauty. I'm describing a deeper attraction. One that doesn't fade once the initial spark is gone. Because real allure isn't loud. It's felt. It grows slowly, steadily. Like a fire that doesn't explode into flames, but burns hotter with every passing moment. A mature man, a man who has lived. A man who has known both the thrill of desire and the disappointment of illusions. He learns to recognize the difference between a woman who is merely beautiful and a woman who is enigmatic. And an enigmatic woman, she becomes more captivating the longer you observe her. It's in the way she moves. Not to impress, but with her own rhythm. It's in the way she looks at the world. As if she sees layers others overlook. It's in the little moments. The curve of her half-smile. The softness behind her eyes. The confidence she doesn't announce but simply carries. When I say this compliment, I'm telling her, you don't need to try. Your presence alone is compelling. There's a depth in you that only reveals itself slowly. And I can't help but want to see more. A Stoic man doesn't fall for theatrics or performance. He is not seduced by noise. He is drawn to essence. To the quiet strength that most people miss. Because they're too distracted by what shines on the surface. But he pays attention. He notices the subtleties. The little gestures. The small expressions. The quiet intelligence hidden beneath calmness. And he feels something shift inside him. Not because she overwhelms him, but because she intrigues him. Intrigue is a powerful form of attraction. It's not the fire that blinds you. It's the one that keeps you warm for a long, long time. Women who possess this kind of magnetism often don't realize it. They think they're ordinary. Or that nothing stands out about them. But what they don't see is that their uniqueness is not in what they show, but in what they don't show immediately. They are discovered, not displayed. And discovery is what makes a man stay. When I tell her, "The more I look at you, the more fascinating you become," I'm giving her something rare. A compliment that acknowledges her depth. Not just her appearance. Most compliments flatten a woman into one dimension. Pretty, cute, sexy. But this one expands her. It recognizes her as a mystery worth unraveling. Not an image to be admired and forgotten. A woman like that awakens something ancient in a man. The desire to understand. To explore. To witness the layers she doesn't offer to the world. And the core of this compliment is not lust. It's reverence. A Stoic man does not worship her. He does not chase her. He studies her presence with calm curiosity. The way a man studies the ocean. Aware of its beauty. Aware of its danger. Aware that its depth is far greater than what the surface reveals. So when you speak this line, let it carry the weight of quiet honesty. Let it sound like an observation, not a performance. Let her feel that your interest isn't impulsive. It's deepening. Because a woman who feels fascinating becomes even more fascinating. And a man who sees her that way, not just as she appears, but as she unfolds, is a man she will remember. At this point, you may have seen yourself in the stories above, sometimes weak, sometimes strong, and sometimes not knowing what to do in love. But it is those moments that make us real and worthy of respect. If you feel the same, please click like to let me know you are here, accompanying me. And if you haven't clicked subscribe yet, don't hesitate, because every day I will share more stories and new lessons, to help you have a calmer view of love. Now, let's move on to the final part, where we will touch on deeper things. Compliment number 5, I respect the way you treat people. There comes a point in a man's life when beauty alone no longer amazes him. He's seen enough faces, enough charm, enough temporary intensity, to know that what truly matters is character. And character reveals itself not in grand gestures, but in the small, effortless ways a woman moves through the world. How she speaks to a stranger. How she listens without judgment. How she carries kindness not as a performance, but as a natural state of being. So when I tell a woman, I respect the way you treat people, I'm not giving her a simple compliment. I'm acknowledging something foundational. Something rare. Something many overlook because they're too distracted by appearances. Respect is not given lightly by a man who has lived. It is earned. Slowly, consistently, quietly. A younger man may be captivated by a woman's looks. Her style. Her confidence. The way she commands attention. But a seasoned man, he watches how she behaves when no one is watching her. He pays attention to the way she speaks to service staff. To the patience in her tone. To the empathy behind her actions. He notices whether she chooses compassion, even when the world gives her every excuse not to. Because a woman's essence, her true beauty, is revealed not in how she treats the man she desires, but in how she treats the people she doesn't need. When I say, I respect the way you treat people, what I truly mean is, you have a noble heart. You move through the world with dignity. You choose kindness even when it's inconvenient. And that tells me more about you than anything you could ever say. A Stoic man values this deeply. Stoicism teaches us that a person's virtue, their character, their integrity, their moral clarity, is the highest form of beauty. And a woman who consistently treats others with warmth and fairness gives him something he cannot find in physical attraction alone. Certainty. Certainty that she will not crumble into pettiness. Certainty that she will not make cruelty her language. Certainty that her goodness is not conditional. In a world growing colder, a woman with a gentle heart becomes a kind of miracle. But here is the paradox. Women who treat others well almost never realize how attractive that is. They think their softness goes unnoticed. Their empathy is just normal. Their respect is expected, not appreciated. What they don't know is that a mature man is watching closely. Not to judge, but to understand. Not to control, but to appreciate. He knows that kindness requires strength. It takes discipline not to give in to frustration. It takes wisdom to respond instead of react. It takes self-respect to treat others with dignity, even when the world does not return the favor. So when I tell her I respect the way she treats people, I'm recognizing her inner architecture. The quiet moral backbone that makes her truly beautiful. I'm telling her, I see your humanity. I see your kindness. I see how your presence improves the world around you. And that makes you someone worth admiring. This is not romance. This is reverence. A woman who hears this feels something shift inside her. Because she realizes you're not drawn only to how she looks, or how she makes you feel, but who she is at the deepest level. And when a man honors a woman's character, he touches the part of her heart that beauty alone can never reach. So say this line gently, with a calm voice and steady eyes. Not as flattery, but as truth. Because a woman who is respected, truly respected, will always remember the man who saw the goodness in her before anything else. Compliment number 6, when you're here, everything feels better. There are moments in a man's life when he realizes something profound. The world is heavy. Not because it is cruel, but because he carries so much of it on his shoulders. Responsibility, pressure, expectation, silent battles no one else sees. A man learns to endure. He learns to be unshakable. He learns to stand alone when he must. But even the strongest man feels the difference when the right woman steps into the room. Not because she fixes his problems, or lightens his burdens, or gives him what he lacks. No. Her presence shifts the air around him. Her energy softens his edges. Her calm brings order to his chaos. Her existence alone creates a subtle but unmistakable harmony. So when I tell a woman, when you're here, everything feels better, I'm not exaggerating. I'm expressing a truth men rarely admit. A good woman does not change a man's life by doing more. She changes it by being more. A young man looks for excitement, for beauty, for intensity. But a seasoned man, a man who has lived through storms, seeks presence. A woman's presence is her most powerful gift. It cannot be forced, faked, or performed. Some women brighten a room, but a rare few steady it. They bring ease, not tension. Warmth, not noise. Clarity, not confusion. And it is in the quiet moments, the ones without grand gestures, that he feels it most. When she sits beside him, and the world feels less demanding. When she laughs, and his stress dissolves just a little. When she listens, and he realizes he doesn't have to carry everything alone. When she simply exists in his space. And suddenly, life feels gentler. This compliment is not about dependence. A Stoic man does not rely on anyone to regulate his emotions. He masters himself. He stands firm in solitude. He finds peace within, not outside. But he also recognizes, when someone adds light to his world, not noise. When someone amplifies his strength, not distracts him from it. When someone makes the hard days feel survivable, and the good days feel even better. So when I say, when you're here, everything feels better, I'm acknowledging, you don't replace my resilience. You enhance my peace. A woman rarely understands how powerful this is. She underestimates the effect of her presence. She thinks she must impress, entertain, or prove her worth. But a mature man sees value in the unspoken. The way she makes a room feel. The way her energy blends with his. The way her softness allows him to rest for a moment from the constant weight he carries. Women often hear compliments about their beauty, their smile, their charm. But almost no one tells them that their presence has the ability to shift the emotional atmosphere around them. This is not attraction. This is alignment. A man can desire many women, but he only feels at ease around a very few. And ease, that rare, quiet, grounding ease, is one of the deepest forms of connection. So when you speak this line to a woman, do it with stillness, with sincerity, with the calm of a man who understands what he's saying. Because what you're truly telling her is, you don't have to try. Your presence already makes the world softer. And for a woman with depth, with warmth, with genuine feminine energy, there is no compliment more intimate, more validating, or more unforgettable. Conclusion. In the end, these 6 compliments are not merely sentences. They are reflections of a man who has lived long enough to understand what truly attracts a woman of depth. A younger man praises beauty because beauty is the first thing he sees. But a seasoned man, a man who has faced himself, who has sharpened his character, who has learned the discipline of feeling without drowning, he sees beyond the surface. He recognizes the subtleties. A woman's presence, her mind, her energy, her kindness, her effect on the world around her. And he speaks to those things. Because a Stoic man knows that real connection is not built on intensity, nor on instant attraction or fleeting chemistry. It is built on respect, on awareness, on the quiet recognition of a woman's deeper qualities. The ones most people overlook, because they are too distracted by what is obvious. These compliments work not because they flatter, but because they honor. They honor her influence, her intelligence, her emotional essence, her impact on your life. Subtle, yet undeniable. A mature man does not need loud declarations to impress a woman. He uses calm truth. He observes deeply. He speaks with intention, not impulse. And women feel the difference. When a man acknowledges the things she rarely gets credit for, she feels seen. Not as an image, but as a being. That is the quiet power of Stoic love. Not to overwhelm her with emotion, but to awaken the part of her that longs to be recognized for who she truly is. Thank you for watching the whole video. I hope that today's sharing about love will bring you new perspectives and help you gain valuable lessons. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share it with your loved ones. I am very grateful for your companionship, and hope that each video will help you get closer to a happy and lasting love. See you in the next videos. Wish you a wonderful and inspired day.